My question is that where did you, let's say in Africa or in those countries, big deserts, where have you implemented the idea? No, or the company have implemented the idea?
Have I had the experience of that?
Yeah.
Of course. Okay. I have presented this. I have presented this for 2 times, and there are same questions about this. And yeah, I haven't got a chance to experiment it on the desert, but I did an experiment on my house because my house is adjacent to, not adjacent, but the seashore is not that far from my house. So I built a greenhouse there in my father's land. I built a greenhouse there, and I did an experiment, and it worked out very well. And my uncle, who worked for construction worker in 1970s in Saudi Arabia and Libya, he told me that if I built that, if we built that greenhouse on there in the desert area, it will like tropical land inside the greenhouse, because he also runs greenhouse farm. So, and for the second solution, Israel is using this strategy to extend the farmland actually. And for the third, because Korea, this is used in Korea. It's very simple, and the village people make a small reservoir up on the mountain, and they build a forest and make it downside to a downside. And this was very successful. You can visit my village and you will see the best on the mountain.
Thanks for the ticket.
Yeah, 2 questions.
Yeah.
How to get water from that greenhouse? I understand that you get salt, but how to get the clean water?
Okay.
Paper.
How can I?
It runs down the side. Is that what you said?
Yeah. This is what I want this one.
No, you can just say it.
Take your question seriously. More detail. They don't have any.
Okay, I will come to you and I will show you the experience of what I did. Okay.
Do you have any idea?
Okay, another question. Sorry.
Okay, I live in a country with a lot of desert, and we don't have seasonal rainfall. So the rainfall maybe can occur in January, and the next one maybe in March or April. So what about evaporation of if I collect, or you mentioned wadi, which is the flood. Okay, if I collect it, I mean it will get evaporated because we have very hot summer.
Yeah.
So what's the sustainability of that?
The combination of the second and third solution, using small dams and using this water to produce provide the spider web like ditches, and plant trees to make shade like oases. Around the oasis there's trees to make shade, and this shade stops the evaporation, lessens, not stopping, but lessens the evaporation of the water. So the reason why the wadi is so dry is because there's no trees. And because there's no trees and the soil is so glassy, the water not holding. The territory is not holding the water.
Wow. No.
The first question is about the. Can I page down?
Denmark.
Yeah, I didn't make it. Like this, I made. Yeah. If you see, this is black tile. The one which is used as seawater producing sun-dried salt. Sun-dried salt field. And you make a ditch, a small hole, ditch, small ditch alongside the here, and the sunlight evaporates, and you can see the raindrops like this, and you will accumulate it alongside the wall, and there's a hole, and you can see the water.
Water flows from the hole.
I need to talk to you later.
My question is, I know there are different types of microclimate. The desert,
yeah.
Okay, there are deserts, and the deserts are very, very important. And in Israel, they say they have to make more research to find something in the desert. And I was in Israel, close to the Dead Sea. They develop a kind of tomatoes and with paper and the desert, not the forest. They say they can't use the desert because the desert, when you have the salt plus something else, they give another effect, and they have a big market for that. Another fact I see, they make research on cactus. Cactus, it is the kind of plant that develop in desert, and now they are trying to make some product and sell and all over the world with that. So not focus on forest, they just develop agriculture. What do you think about that?
Yeah, the main reason why I'm very focusing on the forest is because it's the agriculture is without forest, it can be easily damaged by the drought. And think about there is a rice field, and after the harvest, the rice field is barren. If we build rice field on desert, it's not sustainable. It's not because there's no trees. And as you mentioned, there's salt can be used as a fertilizer. Yeah, in Korea we're developing that kind of also that kind of technology. We use salt as a
one thing I would like to mention, according to FAO, so there are different types of soil for trees, for agriculture, for forest, for pasture, and for agriculture. When it's plain like that, the quantity of erosion is less, so it's for agriculture. They dedicated mountain for forest and not the flat plain.
You mean the topsoil, am I right?
Yeah.
Topsoil. To produce rice, you need about this height of topsoil. Because do you understand?
Yeah.
When you do this morning presentation, you see yesterday's presentation. So you can see the on the garden, on the building roof garden, because we don't need big amount of big soil. We just need this for the rice crops. This amount for the flowers. We only need this big of topsoil. The problem of desertification is this topsoil. It was erosion. Because of soil erosion, this topsoil is getting smaller and smaller, and it's gone. So to stop the erosion and to build on more, we need forest. That's my suggestion. But it takes time because we don't use that kind of big water facilities. Because in this time, but it is sustainable, I think.
Korea, Mongolian desert is really threatening Japan and Korea,
Yeah, right.
all those. And I'm wondering, why would you go for Saudi Arabia? Is it motivated by money, or is it motivated by the real ecosystem, whatever you call? So sometimes in desert, your second approach, you said, okay, we can dig a hole in the desert. It's very difficult to dig a hole in the desert. And second of all, they don't rain much, so it's very difficult, especially if we don't have sea. So have you ever thought about situation like that? How are you gonna come up with a solution? Because Bangladesh is pretty close, and we are all in the same situation.
Yeah, that's my topic. Question, yeah. I don't actually have solution for the landlocked desert. But I'm a police officer. Many people questioned about this and why Jin, you are a police officer. Where did you know this? Yeah. And but I'm a farm boy. I worked at a farm with my father ran a small farm for 30 years, and I just got interested in this. I think I can solve this because I know it works. It works and it is efficient. So, and I studied Arabic because my main first inspiration about is the greenhouse, the first solution. So right now I'm sorry, but I still have a big solution for the landlocked deserts like Gobi Desert like that. Sorry. But for the other desert, I think we can start from the seashore or near the valley, and we can start to fight desertification through inside the
I would like to know more about the kind of fertilizer based in sound, because in one class at Cornell we analyzed the situation of desalination plants, and if you do this you will have two products, water plus salt. And what are you going to do with this salt? So I don't know, I found very interested the impact of doing the desalination, because maybe a small rate of greenhouse is okay, but what happens if you implement this technique in many places? So have you think about the impact you will have of getting this big amount of salt?
Yeah, the desalination facilities in let's say Oman or UAE is the main function is like this. You in a big boiler, you put seawater and you fire the oil, make it hot, and let it evaporate, and you use the cold cool pipe, and you put seawater in, because this seawater is hot and it evaporates. This seawater is cold, so it captures the moisture and the drops. You collect the drops and to provide the water. The problem of this facility is it creates many greenhouse gases, and the salt inside this facility is not healthy and not eatable.
So you said desalinate, right?
I mean, the desalination facility, which is very expensive and this is in work now, we cannot use that salt. But this salt is the same way it produced as sun-dried salt, as I shown you my experiment. Yeah, this salt we can sell it. We can sell it, and it is very healthy. Korea is one of the most salt exporting country in the world, and our salt, this sun-dried salt, is the world best quality actually.
Is there what they call sea salt?
Sun-dried sea salt.
Sun-dried sea has a lot of minerals in it.
Yes, it's very healthy actually, and it needs some kind of process. It's not just drying. You can wash it and you can put it on certain, like 1 year, and then you can use it. Because in that process, during the process, the salt became more healthier, and the toxic in the salt is increasing, and so anyway. And this all is open technology. I just want people to use it. Yeah, it's all open. And, yeah, so you don't need to pay any money for it. Yeah.
So